From his absurd wealth that makes legendary rappers look poor by comparison to his custom-made jewelry collection that's worth over $4 million, here's everything you need to know about P. Diddy's insane lifestyle and net worth. One thing's for sure, Diddy's way richer than your average hip-hop celebrity. I mean, it's not like they're strapped for cash, with bona fide rap legends like Kendrick, who's got a net worth of $75 million, and Nicki Minaj sitting pretty with $85 million. These guys are rolling in cash. In fact, veterans like Snoop Dogg and LL Cool J have about $150 million and $120 million apiece, and Eminem, the GOAT, has a whopping $230 million to his name. That type of wealth is nothing to sneeze at, but even so, Sean Combs is on a whole other level, because his net worth is a mind-boggling $900 million. I mean, I don't think any rap stars come anywhere close to Diddy, except for Jay-Z and Kanye West, although Yeezy's probably way poorer thanks to those hateful rants of his. Now, Dr. Dre's just behind him with an estimated net worth of $780 million, but he's the guy that sold Beats by Dre to Apple for like $3 billion, so you have to wonder, how exactly did Combs get this insanely rich? After all, he's not a record industry titan like Jay-Z, nor is he a global fashion phenomenon in the same league as Kanye, and he doesn't have a massive global brand like Dre either. Okay, sure, his first album, No Way Out, went platinum 7 times back in 1997, and he's had a string of successful hits since then, but Eminem has 2 diamond-certified albums under his belt, yet he's not even a third as rich as Diddy. So what gives? Well, it all started back in 1998. Combs made bank with the release of his debut record, and he used his earnings to buy the wildly successful clothing line Sean John. This would mark his first major investment outside of the music industry, and suffice it to say that it's done wonders for his net worth, not to mention his personal brand. Like, the clothing line won the CFDA Prize for Designer of the Year in 2004, and billionaire investor Don Burkle had pumped about $100 million into the business just a year prior. To be fair, Diddy only owned a third of the company, but when he sold his stake to Global Brands Group in 2016, he got an easy $70 million out of the deal. Now, the deal's still not over, because Diddy filed a couple of multi-million-dollar lawsuits that haven't yet been settled, and that didn't change the huge payday he scored. That's a lot of money, but it only accounts for, what, 8% of his net worth? That still doesn't explain the vast majority of his wealth. As it turns out, he started another series of investments in 2007 that made the Sean John money seem like pocket change. Ever heard of Ciroc vodka? It's about as bougie as booze can get, and P. Diddy's the man behind it all. He partnered with Diageo to buy the brand in 2007, handling the marketing end of the venture himself and letting Diageo take care of distribution. This proved to be a genius move by the rapper, because Ciroc is now the second best-selling luxury vodka brand in America, and Combs gets an even 50% of the profits, with the rest going to his partners at Diageo. Things were going so well that Combs decided to up the ante by starting his own liquor company, Combs Wines and Spirits. Diddy was transforming himself into an alcohol industry mogul, and he bought a large share of De Leon tequila for good measure, once again pairing with his old friends at Diageo to help him with the deal. It's funny that Combs got so stinking rich just by helping people have some fun. But this isn't the only investment he made on that front. Diddy's taken the good times to the next stage with his latest deal, namely by purchasing cannabis dispensaries and manufacturing outlets from Cresco Labs and Columbia Care. Sean spent about $185 million on the deal, and with weed finally getting legalized in a bunch of states, and many more calls for legalization across the US, Diddy's looking to cash in on the next big trend. In his own words, he wants a repeat of the Diageo success with booze, but this time around the focus will be on that beloved herb that gave him the stage name Puff Daddy. Now, Combs isn't just in it for the money. He's been quick to criticize about 80% of marijuana businesses have white owners, with just 2% being owned by black folks. Sean wants to upset the balance and make sure that a black man gets a say in the new industry, which makes sense, because African Americans have been unfairly targeted by marijuana laws for ages, and it's high time that they got their fair share. Okay, we've barely even started scratching the surface. Diddy's made so many savvy investments that they got too big to handle separately, so he merged his businesses under the holding company Combs Enterprises. Combs Wine and Spirits comprises of a major chunk of the holdings, but we can't forget about Bad Boy Entertainment. I mean, this is the record label that's given us Mary J. Blige and Biggie Smalls, for Pete's sake. So I'm willing to bet it gave Diddy the cash he needed for all those other investments. He also owns an ad agency called Blue Flame and a content platform named Revolt that's partnered with HBO. Not to mention Aqua Hydrate, in case you didn't know, it's a beverage company he started with Mark Wahlberg. And the Alkaline Water Company acquired a majority stake in it for $65 million. All of this wealth really adds up, so Diddy's got more money than he can ever spend. And what does the one and only Puff Daddy spend his millions on? Well, the guy likes to travel in style, so he bought both a private jet and a luxury yacht to get around. His matte black Gulfstream G550 alone cost about $60 million, which is a bit of a bargain, because it's the ultimate private jet on the market. As if that weren't already enough, Diddy also owns the Mariah yacht, valued at approximately $65 million. And I gotta tell you, it's practically a palace floating on the water. For real though, it literally has 6 luxury suites, not to mention a 1,650 horsepower engine. I mean, Diddy's blown like $125 million just to buy these assets. And I can't even imagine how much he spends on upkeep, gas, and staff, because he also has a $420,000 Maybach 57S for the road, along with a $450,000 Rolls-Royce, as well as a bunch of other cars that we probably haven't even heard about. But what about when he's at home? Does Diddy have a modest 2-bed that he goes to after a hard day's work? Nope. He owns a $35 million mansion just outside of Miami, with just as many bedrooms as his yacht. I guess Diddy likes to have a half-dozen rooms available at any given point in time, and if you ever find yourself in his mansion and need to take a leak, don't worry, because there are like 10 bathrooms to choose from. Now, this might surprise you, but this Miami villa is technically a step down for the rapper, because he used to live in a sprawling $40 million mansion in Beverly Hills until he sold it in 2013. Diddy might know a thing or two about investing, but that doesn't stop him from blowing millions just to get something that caught his eye. Just take a look at this $20 million painting he bought. Okay, it's technically $21.1 million bucks, but who's counting? The painting in question, titled Pastimes, was made by the iconic Kerry James Marshall. He's known for his surrealist depictions of black figures which go against the grain of the artistic establishment. So Combs just couldn't pass up the chance to get his hands on it when it was up for auction in 2018. The bidding frenzy shot the price up to dizzying levels, and when all was said and done, he became the proud owner of a legit piece of black art history. He clearly has expensive tastes, and not just for his home decor. Diddy also owns a $4 million jewelry collection, which is ridiculous even by rapper standards. His diamond-encrusted necklace is literally worth $500,000 and remember that 30-carat diamond ring he wore to the 2022 Oscars? Yeah, he had it custom-made by Lorraine Schwartz herself, so there's no telling how much it cost him. Diddy's bling collection can put even the flashiest rappers to shame, and that's not even including the $300,000 Richard Mille watch he wears. So from his multi-million-dollar set of jewelry to his status as one of the richest hip-hop stars in the world, this was all you need to know about P. Diddy's crazy lifestyle and net worth.